There's a Norwegian fairy tale about a scary, badass horse named Dapplegrim, but it starts out with baby horse murder. Lots of baby horse murder. A man is the youngest son of 12 sons, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go off and make my own way in the world. And so he does for a little while, but then he comes back home and finds out that his parents are dead and his 11 brothers have split up the land amongst themselves, and there's nothing left for him. It's like, can I have anything? And the brothers are like, well, there are these 12 mares that we haven't split up amongst ourselves, so you can have 12 mares. He goes to check on the mares, and he sees that they've each had a foal, except one of them who's had 2 foals, and one of those foals is sleek and dapple gray and just shiny and pretty looking. The lad's like, ooh, what a fine little foal you are. And the foal talks back to him and says, oh yes, but if you'll only kill all the other foals so that I may suck all of the mares for 1 year more, you'll see I'll be even better. The lad was ready to do that, so he killed all 12 foals and went home again. Comes back a year later and he sees that this horse is now huge and strong and even sleeker. And he's like, oh, so that year of having all of that milk did you good. You want to go with me and hit the road now? But the horse says, no, if you'll kill all the other foals again, because all the mares have had another foal by this time, be even bigger and sleeker. And so he does again. He murders all the foals again so this guy can get all the milk for another year. He comes back again. He's so big, it's hard to mount him. And Dapplegrim's like, dude, you know what I'm going to ask you, right? Because the other horses have had 12 more foals, and I'm not sure where they're getting these foals. Like, it doesn't mention they're being boy horses, but there must be. Of course, this third time, our lad does what Dapplegrim asks again, and he murders the 12 foals. For a third time, that's 36 baby horses he has killed. The next year, he comes back, and Dapplegrim is huge. He is like the most magnificent, enormous, awesome-looking horse ever. Milk does a body good, I guess. So now Dapplegrim is like, okay, we can go off and like travel the world together. So our dude gets on Dapplegrim and they stop by his brother's farm on the way and they all like cross themselves because they're so terrified by this huge horse. Dapplegrim says he wants the best horseshoes and the best saddle and bridle ever, and so the young man trades the 12 mares that are left and their new foals, because these foals get to live, for that nice stuff, and he rides off on the horse. They go to the capital of the country, and the king is upset because a troll has kidnapped his daughter, and he says anyone who can save his daughter gets to marry her and get half the kingdom. Dapplegrim is like, I got you, bud, but you got to get me the best stable and the best food. And so, of course, he does. I mean, he'll murder baby horses for him. He'll get him the best food. All of the other knights at the court are super jealous of our dude's horse. And so they tell the king, hey, you should send him to try and rescue the princess, because the jealous dudes are hoping he'll die. So the king sends him, but it's all good because Dapplegrim requests silver and iron horseshoes, and with those horseshoes, he is able to climb up this mountain that is almost entirely vertical to the top where the troll is keeping the princess. Our dude grabs the princess, puts her on the horse, and they head down before the troll can even like get up and do anything about it. He brings her home and the king is like, thank you for saving my princess. And the lad's like, well, I mean, if you're true to your word, she's technically mine now, you know, because she's an object. But the jealous knights are still whispering in the king's ear, like, this guy's not good enough. You got to give him more tests. So the king says, okay, you need to get rid of this ridge that always prevents the sun from shining through the windows into my palace. Dapplegrim's like, I got you if you get me even heavier iron and silver horseshoes. So he does. And Dapplegrim just like jumps on the ridge until it finally is just like ground into the earth and sunk down. But of course, the king makes up a new task that he has to perform, and this time it's to find a horse as huge and amazing and splendid as Dapplegrim. Our dude goes to Dapplegrim and he's like, I'll never find another horse like you. It'll take years and so much baby horse murder. But he's like, no, there is another one just like me. We can do it, but it's gonna be hard because he lives in hell. I mean, it actually makes sense that his twin is a hell beast because Dapplegrim's a hell beast. Dapplegrim's like, all right, I need heavier shoes, specifically 10 pounds of iron and 12 pounds of steel, and they need to be sharp. And then he asks for 12 slaughtered oxen because of course he needs to murder more animals. The lad gets all the stuff, they descend down into hell. And so he uses the ox carcasses to throw out for other hell beasts to distract them so they can get by. They find the horse that is absolutely Dapplegrim's equal, and this is actually Dapplegrim because he has the lad cover him with ox hides that they took off after they slaughtered the oxes and have spikes all over them, and he wears it like armor, and he fights the horse that shoots fire out of its nostrils, and then they set tar on fire. The lad and Dapplegrim subdue the horse. The lad puts the bridle on him, instantly tames him. Now he's got a tame equal to Dapplegrim. So they go back to the king. But the king still won't uphold his end end of the bargain, he says, okay, now I'm gonna hide my daughter twice, and you have to find her both times. And then you have to hide twice, and she has to not find you. So the princess turns herself into a duck, because apparently she can do that. She goes out to a pond, swimming around, and then Dapplegrim and the lad go out there, and they're like, oh, where's the princess? And then Dapplegrim's like, hey, you should try and shoot that duck. So our dude aims like he's gonna shoot the duck, but then the princess is like, no, it's me, I'm the princess, and transforms again. For her second time hiding, she transforms herself into a loaf of bread. The lad and Dapplegrim go in the kitchen, and Dapplegrim's like, hey, you should pretend to stab that bread over there. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna slice it. And then again, she's like, no, it's me, I'm the princess. When it's our dude's turn to hide, he, who can also do magic apparently, turns himself into a tick and hides inside Dapplegrim's nostril so she cannot find him. The second time he turns himself into a clump of dirt between Dapplegrim's hooves, and she can't find him that way. And so he wins. He finally really wins and is done. The king can't say anything against it anymore. He gets to marry the princess. He got on Dapplegrim, she got on the match from hell, and they went off to church to get married. So all of the dead baby horses were worth it.